What is going on, guys? My name is Ben. How are you guys doing today? What I have for you today in this video is a review of the IQ Shield Clear Protection Kit, which is basically a full body protector for the iPhone 5 right here, and you can also consider this for the iPhone 5s due to the fact that they're the same specs externally, and that they're the same dimensions and everything, so size is pretty much the same when you're comparing the two devices together. And what this does is, all it does, it protects your phone from scratches, so that way, if you don't want to rock a case on it, this is the purpose for it. Alright, and as far as the material quality it's made out of, I can't remember if it was like thermoplastic. I forgot what it was. I'll put a little annotation right here or something, and that's pretty much it. So, as you can see, I have the front shield on the screen itself, and then I have the back protector on to protect the aluminum part of the iPhone 5 right here, as well as the two-tone glass that you see right here. And then of course it comes with the side protection as well, and that's pretty much what it is. So this is basically like a screen shield, but it's a little bit different because this is more of a wet install. This involves some liquid. Alright, and let me show you guys what was in the packaging right here. So, you have your squeegee right here, and there was some more stuff right here. Actually, the microfiber, I actually have that out. But you also get some documentation right here, as well as a little tray where you have to mix your own solution with dishwashing soap. And this is the way mine came, which it basically came with a piece for the back right here, and then a piece for the front, and it came with a little protector for the home button, but I never used it because my home button's already scratched up since it's a plastic button, so it's not going to do any good. And then of course this is where your side pieces are at, and I don't know if you noticed, but I have a long extra piece right there, and there is no cutouts on it whatsoever. And I can't say that it's for the bottom right here because there's no cutouts for the lightning connector, as well as around the speakers and the headphone jack. Plus, it's a little bit too long to be fitting right there. So, I'm assuming that was an extra piece, and I will go over what IQ Shield said to me, because I did send them emails about it, and we'll talk about that a little later on in the video. Alright, so that's pretty much what it is. It's basically clear plastic for your device. That's all there is to it. So that way, if you don't want to rock a case, but you don't want your device to get scratched up, then this is the one that you probably might want to consider if you don't like the dry installs where you have to make sure you're lining up the screen shield properly or the screen protector properly, and sometimes, or most of the time, when you're trying to buy a screen protector, the regular dry one, you probably can't find one for the back. More than likely, if you get something like this, you're gonna get it with the back. I have done two-part videos where I did do installations of this product, and you can go back and check those just to see how I did it. And keep in mind, when I did those videos, I did it from a person's point of view who's doing this for the first time, because that was my first time doing it. And the design, it's plastic, and I actually really like how unique it is. Now, it may look like a standalone naked iPhone right now, but with those side pieces put it on, I don't know if you noticed, but if you really have to look really close just to see the edges. The edges, when you're looking at it in direct light, it has a unique look to it because you can just see the clear shield, or the clear film that's just popping out a little bit, because when you apply this stuff on, it adds a little bit of thickness to it. Maybe I don't want to say a millimeter. I don't know how much thicker it adds to the iPhone itself, but I must say it is really unique. And I'm looking at it off camera right now, and it just looks pretty awesome. Well, what I just did was, you guys see my ceiling light right there. You have to take your device and then put it directly up at your ceiling light or whatever light it may be, and just pay attention to the edges. To me, that's a unique design. Now, I had talked to IQ Shield and I asked them what I have to do if I wanted to reapply this stuff for any reason. And they were saying that I can pretty much peel this off and then reapply it any time. And that's what I did, not with all the parts so far. I just did with the back because the back I wasn't aligned properly. I had too much overlapping right here on the edge. And as you can see, there's a little bit of lifting right there. I guess there was too much dust getting in there and I couldn't get it off. I even changed or peeled off this side right here and actually switched them. I didn't realize that until I put them, because over here was the side where it was lifting and I had that over here right by the headphone jack. And as far as reapplying is concerned, you want to take your time with it. You want to take your time with this stuff in general, because I'll tell you this, it is super sticky and it is super stretchy. Because when I was taking this off, I was literally pulling it, and the adhesive side was very sticky, and my hands were dry at the time. I didn't wet it in the solution, so as I started peeling off, I'm like, well, I better not get my dry fingers touching the adhesive side. So what I did was, good thing I had the solution with me, just dip my fingers in there and then peel it off, and then when it's touching the adhesive side, my fingers were wet with the solution. And I can actually stretch it a little bit too. So you really want to be careful with this stuff. You want to take your time. You want to make sure that there's no liquid going into any of your ports right here, or any openings on the buttons right here. You want to make sure that you just don't get any liquid in here in general. Otherwise, you're going to wind up with water damage, and you'll be taking this back to the Apple store if it is still covered under warranty. And then for replacement, I believe was like, well, I'm thinking of iPhone 3G, 3GS prices here. I don't know what it is now for the iPhone 6, 6 Plus, 5S, whatever phone you want checked out. Back then with the iPhone 3GS was like $199, and I don't know what the price is now, but if you do get water damage, you'll find out once you actually take it to the Apple store and get it replaced. And as far as my email experience is concerned with IQ Shield in terms of their service, it was pretty good, believe it or not. I had questions. They did ask me about it, and they asked for my order number because they told me that this was backed up with a lifetime warranty. So if I needed a replacement, great. Go ahead and call them up and get a replacement. And I gave them my order number, but I did specify with them that I got this off of Amazon because of the good deal. It was like $8.95 over there, and sure enough, they sent me another one. So this is mine right here. And let me take this one out of the packaging here. And this is the one that they shipped to me. Now, I did open this to take a look. Let me just put this one off to the side. So that was the old one that you see right here, which was the one I bought. And then here's the one that they sent me. Now, as you can see, the box is smashed up, but that's due to shipping purposes. And even the tray was banged up a little bit, but whatever, it doesn't matter. And what I did notice was that their packaging of this one was a little bit different compared to mine. It was in a folded sheet. And then it just came into two separate pieces. Now, I still see that extra piece. And I asked them what was that extra piece for. And I took a picture and sent it to them via email. And unfortunately, they couldn't recognize it, and I just gave up. I kind of gave up on that part. So I'm assuming this extra piece was just to, in case if I ever needed it. Because you see, it's the same length as the one for the SIM card slot. You see that cutout right there? That's for the side where the SIM card slot lays on your iPhone 5. And then you got one that's completely sealed with no cutouts, no nothing. So unfortunately, I still can't figure out what that is, and they keep telling me it's for the side of your device in the bottom. If they're saying bottom, meaning the lightning connector, I'll be honest, not to bash them or anything, but I beg to differ. And you guys can see right there that I have that extra piece. So, but as far as the email experience is concerned, they were very helpful and they were good about it. Overall, I would say customer service was pretty good. So if you ever need to get a replacement, go ahead. But I wouldn't recommend just doing it all the time if it's just for little things, because you can pretty much just take this and reapply it anytime you want if you ever needed to do that. Alright? And I really like this product because it lets me use my iPhone without a case. And the reason why I bought this is because I don't drop my stuff very often. Maybe like, I don't know, once or... I can't even say that. Maybe 2 or 3 times a year. But that's always a while. So let's say if I dropped it one time, then it usually takes me like what? 3 or 4 months before I drop it again. And then so on and so forth. But obviously there are some people out there who are clumsy and they'll end up dropping their stuff. But sometimes it might not be a hard impact. Who knows? It could be just me dropping it on the table right here. But you don't want a case because you don't want to add more bulk to your phone. But you don't want it scratched up at the same time. This is what this is for. So that way you can use your phone freely without a case but have it protected at the same time. That's why I like it, because it doesn't add that much bulk. Believe it or not, it doesn't add any bulk. Yeah, it does add a little bit of thickness to it, and it does make the aluminum part of the iPhone 5 seeable, I guess, because you can actually see through now versus the aluminum. You couldn't even see my ceiling light right now, except the glass part. I did have some issues though, because if you notice right here, I do have a little bit of an issue with peeling up right here. Now, I don't know how this side got peeled up. Well, actually, I do. Because recently where I live, we've been having snowstorms, and I was out shoveling, snow blowing, or whatever. Well, actually, this time when I had my phone in my pocket, I was shoveling, and I guess my pocket must have got sweaty inside because I was taking up an amount of snow on the shovel and then throwing it off because I was shoveling my driveway. And I guess the sweat in my pocket must have got through onto the film right here, causing it to build up and then start to peel. And then as you see, some of the adhesive is peeling up. Now this one I just did it myself because I noticed it wasn't aligned properly, so I just wanted to realign it and end up that's not sticking anywhere. And as far as this one is concerned, this piece right here for the SIM card slot was overlapping this piece right here where the sleep wake button was at to the vibrate switch. Therefore, I decided to take a blade and then cut it. And then this one right here, this actually didn't happen until after a few weeks of me installing this, because every weekend I always put this phone into my OtterBox commuter series because I was at work, and when I keep running around, I'm worried that my phone's going to slide out of my pocket. So if it were to slide out of my pocket, at least it would hit the ground with a case on it. And when I try to put my OtterBox commuter series on my phone, I always put it with the sleep wake button up and then just try to overlap the sides. And then every night when nighttime comes and I get home, I always take the case off. I see that this part was very close to the sleep wake button, as you see how I'm doing it right there. So I don't know what happened. It might have happened with the process of me putting my phone in. So it just really needs to, you just got to be careful with this. And this vibrate switch, as you can see, it is covered. I don't have an issue with this little piece right there because that's so little, and that's just for in between the vibrate buttons, so it's not gonna interfere. But I do have a little bit of dust underneath in there, I guess because I wasn't being careful and keeping my phone in a dust-free environment when I was installing this. So that was pretty much it. So it feels great. It looks good. Well, look good, I don't know, because it doesn't look as smooth when you're looking at it in direct lighting, as you can see, compared to an actual the screen shield, like the dry install screen shields, where, well, you probably can't see it with the fingerprints, but I hope you guys can see it. Look at the ceiling light on my iPod Touch. You see that it looks nice and smooth, whereas the iPhone 5 kind of has a little bit of an effect to it. Me personally, I would like the back protector of this and then rock a regular screen protector on it, because I like that nice and smooth look of my phone. But other than that, this works fine. I mean, sensitivity, works great, so you're not going to have an issue with the touch the screen. I was a little bit concerned about that because the adhesive side had liquid on it, but either way, as you can see, my screen works fine. So would I recommend this? It really depends on you, to be honest. No matter what product it is, it depends on you. If you don't want to rock a case on your phone and you hardly ever drop it, or you don't drop your devices at all, great. Go ahead and get it if you're so concerned about it getting scratched, and find yourself a good deal out there online. And if it's not a lot of money, go ahead and buy it. If you can install it carefully and have the time and patience for it, go ahead and get this. If you're somebody who wants to rock a case, a very nice form-fitting case, kind of like this one I recently got from my iPod Touch, where it's nice and tight and it's going to provide protection for your the device, you probably don't want to get this. Maybe you want the screen part, but other than that, everything else, you probably want to scratch that. Now, what if you want this kind of protection and combined with a case at the same time? Well, then you really have to find the right case to see which one would not peel this stuff off, as I had with the OtterBox Community Series, and see, which one will fit the case better on the phone. Even though this provides a little bit of thickness, your case isn't going to fit properly. So far, the only case I would see, that I see this will work fine with, is a silicone case, like the Spec Pixel Skin. And actually, let me see if I can get my OtterBox Community Series. Well, I can't get it because the tripod's in the way and it's in the keyboard slot. But that had a rubber piece to it, and that was almost like silicone, but it did work. I just had a little bit of issue right there, but that could have been my fault or something. So if you do want to rock this with a case, what I'm thinking is you probably want to do away with the sides, but you could have the back and the front all over the place, because once you have this in a case, you already have protection for the sides right here. And why put protection on the sides when you're already going to have that with the case, unless you want double the protection? But what about the fit of your phone inside the case? That's something you got to be concerned about when you're buying something like this. So IQ Shield, what I would recommend getting this one exactly, well, I'll be honest, this product is very nice. I'm not trying to bash them or anything, but in my opinion, I would have preferred an actual solution that came with the product. Now, they do ship some out with an actual solution, but that's like for the bigger devices, like tablets, computers, and whatever the case may be. And if you're trying to get it for a mobile device, like this one, a smartphone, then you have to go to the trouble of making your own solution, and that's what I had to do. And you really have to meet the requirements if you're going to use dishwashing soap, which you pretty much have to. They were saying like no antibacterial, no grease removal or whatnot, but all dishwashing soap has those features. It's just, okay, which one has less of that and which one has more of that, if you guys understand what I mean. And I had to go to my local Walmart, buy that dishwashing soap by Palmolive, and that cost me another $3. So $8.95. I got this off of Amazon, plus the extra $3 cost me like a little over $11. That might not seem much, but at the same time, I like everything to be exactly in the whole package, so that I have everything that I need instead of having to go off places in order to get it. But if you're really concerned about your budget and you find a good deal, go ahead and get whatever you like. Zac, Invisible Shield, Bodyguards, IQ Shield, Clear Coat, Best Skins Ever. There was another one, Skynomi. It started with an S. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but whichever one you want, whichever one you prefer, whichever one you can get a good deal on, go ahead and get it. If you really want to use something like this without having to use a case, or you want some of this protection with your case. Anyway, guys, that's my review of the IQ Shield full body protector for the Apple iPhone 5 and 5S. They do have other products too, and I believe they have some for the, they do have some for the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. So I will leave a link in the description below for this particular product on Amazon. But keep in mind, if you do want to buy this one, go ahead, but you got to supply yourself with your own dishwashing soap. I will also leave a link to IQ Shield's website so you can see which device you have and see if they have what you're looking for. And if you like it, go ahead and buy it from there, buy it from somewhere else, Amazon, whatever. You can do the searching yourself. I like this one from my iPhone 5, and I will be using this for a while. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please subscribe, rate, comment, and follow all my social medias in the description below, Twitter and Instagram. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.